In this video, I am going to discuss how to generate more revenue and make your residential assisted living business more profitable. So if you're interested, make sure to stick around. What is going on, everyone? I hope you're all doing well. If you're new here, my name is Serge. Welcome to the channel. To all my recurring viewers, thank you so much for all the love and support that each and every single one of you have shown me. And if you have not yet, make sure to go check out the God Made podcast on most streaming platforms. Also, feel free to go check out Legion Assisted Living Academy, where I teach how to start your own facility from A to Z. Also, if you are looking to book a one-on-one mentorship call, make sure to do that in the link in the description of this video, and also at legionassistedlivingacademy.com. And if you have not checked out Valley ALF Ventures on Instagram, make sure to go do that. And also, if you are a limited partner or a passive investor looking to invest in this niche of assisted living or behavioral health or transitional housing, make sure to go check us out at valleyalfventures.com. Or if you're an operator with experience looking to actually lease facilities and grow your operations, reach out to us. We would love to have that discussion with you. And with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the topic of this video. One of the main things about this type of business is how do you actually increase revenue and generate more revenue for your facility, and what can you possibly do about that? So one of the main things is you have to look at the different Medicaid, Medi-Cal type of programs out there for this type of business. So oftentimes, because this type of business is considered non-Medicaid, medical, meaning you're not doing any intensive procedures, you're not doing anything that's going to require you doing any type of medical services to the residents. Typically, what you're doing is activities of daily living. You're helping them bathe, eat, give them medication reminders, and typically you're not doing any type of IVs. You're not typically doing any type of punctures or doing anything to the resident that typically requires a nurse or some type of doctor's guidance, right? And so because of that, Medicare does not provide any type of reimbursement. So typically Medicaid, which is more a state to state type of program, is what reimburses you for the activities of daily living and actually helps and assists the residents to be able to pay for these different services you're providing. So with all that being said, make sure you look into these types of programs and look at the type of reimbursements that you're going to be able to bill for. Oftentimes people leave a lot of money because they have someone else taking care of the billing for them, for their facility and for those residents, that they don't typically refresh every year or every 6 months on what these programs are offering. For instance, we are under contract with Valley ALF Ventures for a facility in California that is utilizing the Medicaid program there, but there are certain things about the program there in California that they're not actually taking advantage of. And so there's a lot of money and potential revenue that is not being utilized to service these clients and to bring in more revenue for that business there. And so because of that reason, we're able to come in and not only do that, but also increase potentially the licensing there at that facility, and also potentially add even another building there that will only ultimately generate more revenue and add a ton of value to that location. So that is typically what you want to start looking at when you are trying to bring in more revenue for your facility. What can you do? Maybe add additional bedrooms, right, for a fraction of the cost, or maybe add additional programs within your facility that you're not even aware of, right, that you can start billing for. Also, oftentimes people don't realize this, but the rates that they're charging are under market rates. They don't know that other facilities within a 10-minute radius of them are charging, $500 to $1,000 more than what they are, right? They think that they're doing well because they're always full. And because of that, they typically like to keep their rates the same and they don't like to increase rates. But what they don't know, typically, if you're always full, is that maybe you're not charging enough. And oftentimes, when you're not charging what the actual market rate is, people look at that and they see that you're undervaluing yourself. Yes, are they getting a great price for what you're providing? Yes, but at the same time, what you choose to set your rates at and what you do about that will ultimately determine your value in the market. So that's something to keep in mind when you're running this type of business. You want to stay on top of what other facilities are doing within your area. So keep that in mind. Another thing you can do is start offering other amenities there, right? Maybe you do kind of like an a la carte type of model. Yes, you do an all-inclusive, but then you start adding other things that you can ultimately upcharge, right? Maybe you bring in someone that can handle different activities or different services and upcharging on that. And I know a lot of people like to say, well, that's not fair. How can you do that? Well, it is taking time out of your day, out of your schedule, out of your staff schedule to coordinate all of this. So that's got to be compensated for, right? And so on top of that, you want to make sure that whoever you're bringing in, that you have a discounted rate with them, which ultimately will drive more revenue for them and for you. So keep that in mind. Also, you can add other things at your facility that will ultimately help you to increase those rates, right? Maybe bringing on just kind of like a contracted nurse that comes in throughout your facility to really build your brand around that. Maybe even a doctor, you bring them on board. Maybe you add other amenities at your facility that residents can utilize, such as maybe a pickleball court if you have the yard and the space to do so. Maybe you add other things that residents can take advantage of that they can enjoy, right? So typically that's what people need to look at when they are trying to increase any type of revenue. Again, you want to play offense and defense, right? But typically offense is where you want to be at as someone who's operating at a high level. Yes, defense, leave that to your accountant, leave that to your bookkeeping, right? Look at your staff, see where you can cut costs, but don't compromise the standards of your facility when you do that. When people look at cutting costs, what they're doing is ultimately lowering their standards, right? Typically, the quality of food gets worse when they start cutting costs. Typically, the environment and what you're doing at your homes can bring in or lower the standard of your facility. So keep that in mind when you start cutting costs. If you're going to start cutting costs, maybe it's switching out a different product for something else that's similar but lower cost, maybe buying in bulk because that's going to ultimately bring your costs down. So just keep that all in mind when you're looking at that. What you should be doing is ultimately, like I said, working on the offense where you can try to bring more value to those residents, to your staff, to your facilities to be able to drive more revenue. And being able to provide families options when it comes to assistance with utilizing different state programs and different ways to help take that burden off of them financially. They will appreciate you. They will refer you. Word of mouth goes a long way. And always keep in mind, take the time to invest in the marketing of your facility and of your business, right? Whether that's being out in public, whether that's being at networking events, wherever it may be, take advantage of that to increase revenue to your facility and make sure that you're always providing solutions to other people's problems within your facility, right? It could be for different scenarios that happen in your facility. Maybe it's different resources, maybe it's different things that ultimately will help drive revenue to your facility. So these are just a couple great ways you can increase revenue for your facilities and for your residential assisted living. And so with all that being said, make sure to go check out Legion Assisted Living Academy.com. Also make sure to go check out Valley ALF Ventures on Instagram and valleyalfventures.com. And feel free to book a one-on-one mentorship call. And thank you again for all the support that each and every single one of you have shown me. And I will talk to you all in the next one. God bless.